Hey everybody, welcome to Passionate About Music Education, and I'm Rachel Hardman. And today I wanted to talk about self-care. I've seen a lot of teachers, music teachers, getting very stressed about going back to school and all the uncertainty. And for music teachers, the fact that we don't know whether we can sing, play instruments, social distancing, how long this will last, whether we're going to be online, virtual, hybrid, who knows what it all looks like. And it's creating lots of anxiety and lots of stress. And I can see that a lot in the feed. And so I kind of wanted to talk today about good ways, healthy ways of dealing with this. And about 2 years ago, I was feeling very burnt out. And although on paper everything was great and I had an amazing job and a brilliant lifestyle and everything on paper is great, actually inside I was stressed and burnt out and I just unhappy. And I couldn't work out why, because again, I didn't have a really genuine reason. And really, after a lot of research, a lot of studying, a lot of reading, a lot of self-reflecting, a lot of searching for those answers, because again, people say, oh, well, you're just depressed, just get over it, or just take some tablets, it'll be all right, or teaching's stressful, suck it up, and if you don't like it, or you can't cope with the stress, off you go, leave the career. And that's not the right answer. The answer is, how do we find healthy ways of coping with stress? And that was what I was looking for. How can I turn the feeling that I have into a positive? I love music and I love teaching children, but even that bit was becoming a struggle to keep finding the joy in it, the gratitude. And so after digging in really deep and doing lots of research and seeking out advice and, real digging in, the biggest area that I neglected for myself was self-care. And you're going to go, hey, Rach, self-care, who's got time for that? We're all too busy. And it's exactly what I thought. And it was also what I was programmed as. It was like, you're a teacher, you go to work, you're in the school, everything's about teaching, it's about putting the children first, putting your colleagues first, and that's just how it is. And particularly if you take on a line management responsibility. And the other thing you're often told is, well, that's what holidays are for. You have work hard, play hard. How often do you play hard when you've worked hard? You don't. You're too exhausted. So my reason for talking to you about this is because if you aren't doing self-care and if you're not looking after your pies, you will burn yourself out if you don't have a way of de-stacking the stress. We stack the stress all day because of the nature of teaching. And it's not like we're all just stressed out going around angry. It's just the fact that we don't have a break. Our brains are constantly active. We're thinking about next lesson and we're thinking about the lesson we're in and thinking about needing to go to the photocopier. And if we're really lucky, can we get to the bathroom in time during our 5 minutes of break? Let's hope nobody comes in and asks us a question or it'll be lunchtime. And that's the life of a teacher, and we know that, and it's really busy. But in none of the PD I've ever been in has anybody ever taught me how to unstack that stress. So here are a couple of tips if you're starting to feel anxious and stressed about going back to work, or you're back at work and you're starting to feel it, getting a bit crazy. First of all, you've got to have free self-care activities because you need them to release, and it's not selfish. I thought it was selfish. I thought that, and I'd been taught that you put others first. And there, of course, we do that. But if you are not looking after yourself and you're not well in yourself, then you can't look after anybody else. You haven't got anything left to give because you're already burnt out. So really try to find free self-care activities a day. It could be reading, it could be learning something, it could be going for a walk, it could be talking to a friend, it could be talking to a family member, somebody who brings joy, watching comedy, listening to music, anything that brings you some chance to calm the mind. Another thing to do during the day is to unrelease the stress. So what happens is we get into work, we get busy. By 3 o'clock, all of the day's work is kind of stressed and we're still carrying it, all that energy and all that vibrance going through our body, and we haven't released it. So at different points of the day, take a 2-minute break, turn away from the computer, just give yourself some space to unwind your mind. Have those like meditation moments of just saying to yourself, release, and just breathe take time just to release. Another really good activity is to go release my shoulders, relax my jaw, relax my tongue. And if you try that, it's amazing how much you realise that everything's all tense. So it's these little tricks through the day that are really important. And the other thing is to think about your triggers. What is it that sets you off? What stresses you out? What pushes your button? And the chances are what's pushing your button is something that you need to explore and fix. So sometimes for me, my trigger is that I get really frustrated when I've given people, like for instance, I've asked for keyboards to be there for the beginning of the term. I said very clearly it takes 3 months to get there, and all of the good advice you give them, and they leave it to about 2 weeks before the beginning of term, and then they're surprised that there's a back order on them and that they won't be here. And for me, that was a trigger. When I saw that, I was like, oh, because they don't understand that's going to impact my teaching. We're in unprecedented situation where we don't know what we're allowed to do and what we can and can't do. So I need equipment so I can at least try and teach music to students. And 2 years ago, I would have been furious and raging, and the emails would have been, and I'd have been at home. And actually, this time, I've just realised the trigger in me is the fact that I felt disrespected. I felt my knowledge was not appreciated, and I felt disappointed that there I was trying to do the best for the students so that I could be the best music teacher that I could do. Wasn't valued, and that, that was hard. And when I realised, well, that's my trigger because that's how I feel. It's not necessarily how they are doing it. Genuinely might be a budget reason. Who knows? Because they don't communicate, it makes it much harder. But I realised that they were my triggers, and they were also my, not good enough kind of concepts, limiting beliefs that and you just have to kind of let go of that, because otherwise you are just stacking stress. Why can I let go of it? And you're going to go, Rach, you shouldn't let go of it. You want to do a good job. And I have to let go of it because it's completely out of my control. I can't fix it. But I know that with a positive mindset, I will find a solution. I will find a way to do my best for the students, whatever that looks like in terms of music appreciation and love of music. Will it be exactly what I want to do for September? Of course not. But I can only do what I can do, like all of us. And I know that turning up and caring about the students, caring about their well-being, engaging with them, learning about them, caring for them is so valuable and so important. And giving them some music appreciation, a love for the arts, sharing my passion with others is really important to me. That's more important than whether they can play a musical tune or not. So that's how I'm starting to look at all of these triggers when I'm starting to feel that anger and that rage and, the stress and coming up. It's like, what is it that's triggering me? What is it that they're doing that's actually an issue that I need to think about and unpick? And I hope these tips give you some good ideas going into the beginning term, because it is going to be stressful. It's always stressful at the beginning of the year. There's so much unknown anyway. So to add another layer of unknown and, health worries, it just makes it really difficult. But you can do it. You're stronger than you think, and the mind will always find a way. So give yourself that chance to de-stress wherever you can. Sleep well, eat well, keep healthy, keep doing physical exercise, keep getting out in fresh air, and you'll be surprised at how the mind will free up and you will find solutions. And don't be afraid to seek help from colleagues, from YouTube, from your community, from the tribe of musicians that are out there on forums. They're all there to help you. So don't be alone in this. And I really do hope that this video has given you some really great self-care tips as we go into the beginning of the year. I'm Rachel Hardman, and this is Passionate About Music Education, and I will see you soon.